Yeah, I was looking at something with this deal with the Bundy Ranch, and I know it's about a Chinese company looking to use the area for a solar panel farm, and Harry Reid's son, I think, is involved in in the company itself. So there's a financial interest, and actually, if you look at out west, almost all the land belongs to the government somehow or another, is under government management, which is ridiculous. It's like under the guise of environmental rules. Under the guise of environmental rules, there's always some reason. And we all know the deal with the Bundy thing is not about the cattle using, BLM land or something like that to graze on, or the tortoises or anything. It's about this Chinese company that wants it for solar panels, which will probably make electricity, get a grant from the U.S. government, and sell to the people in the USA the electricity for a fee every month, right? Now, I'm going to put out the big freaking cruncher, I think, is with this deal with the Bundy Ranch, because, this is the whole thing, man. It's like shrewdness counts for every damn thing, doesn't it? And I don't want to put all my shrewd things I can think of out here, because, I don't know, it probably wouldn't be it might be entertaining, but I'm not going to put them out here. The thing is with the Bundy Ranch, they have the people out there that are defending it that went there. It's been infiltrated. That I almost guarantee you, man, because you don't know who the hell's showing up. And I read that one of the guys over there left because he says it's been infiltrated, and basically, I guess you can tell because it's pretty simple. I mean, you can tell who's got a military type attitude, very easily. It's probably written all over him, more or less. But I'm going to kind of present something armchair because, I was looking where this place was, Bunkerville, whatever it sounds like, Bunker Hill, the USA with George Washington against the Redcoats and stuff like that, Bunkerville, right? And but it's only 70 miles outside Nevada. And I'm like, damn, going at 75 miles an hour, that's only an hour cruise at the most. It's nothing. And actually start thinking about it, there's not a lot of people there, then there probably should be more people there. But I just want to put this out here because infiltration is one of the biggest problems with anything like this. And you got to watch this deal with the Patriot movement too, because it's almost like a big hoorah-rah thing type. And I'm not saying that these people won't die for their cause, but the direct frontal assault is not necessarily the way you want to do something. You want to accomplish the goal, and the direct frontal assault is when you're being assaulted and you're going to be killed, by somebody that's doing something bad to you. In other words, that's the last ditch, last self-defense type maneuver. That's exactly what that should be. But infiltration is always the big, big problem. It's like I'm not anti-government, but I'm anti-communism, and I'm anti-crony capitalism, and that's kind of like what we got going on here, right? That's what it is, right? I mean, Harry Reid and the Chinese are coming in there, the Chinese communist companies coming in there with their solar panels. They want the land and all this kind of crap. And I know they'll say that's not true, and it's really about the grazing rights. Yeah, get the hell out of here, Hey, come on, we know to deal with this stuff. And, but I also want to put out, you got to have an organization that's not been infiltrated. And armchair, I'm talking armchair here because I really don't know nothing about this organization. The only organization I would think of that has not been infiltrated, that's internationally recognized, that probably would be the Hells Angels. Be honest about it. And I'm almost thinking that Bundy wouldn't want to deal with that because as soon as they got involved, the feds would say drugs and all this kind of crap, and that would give them an excuse to crack down. But you know what? That's the only organization I could think of that has not been infiltrated. I don't think they've been infiltrated. I don't know this for a fact. Nobody knows anything for. If you go on YouTube, and even if you're in the organization, you don't even know. Nobody knows anything for absolutely certain. But I think that's one of the safer organizations out there. Actually, what Bundy needs to do is play wheel and deal. He's got to play, and I'm talking like this. from an armchair, but I'm not in this situation. But he's got a wheel and deal. I personally, I'm saying like if I'm him, but I'm not him, and all this kind of shit. I'd be like I'd be contacting them and saying, hey, you want some free cattle? You want some food? You want a clubhouse on my property? You want, a gas station here or some shit that you could, put. I don't give a shit. Anything like that. I say, hey, you could have part of my land, and we'll set it up as a joint venture and a trust, and this acre here will be your deal and our deal jointly, and they'll always have a presence. Now that could attract the Fed, but on the other hand, I think that would be something that would attract the population to look at this deal, because there's ingrained in everybody in the United States this spirit of freedom, right? And the Hells Angels definitely embody that in reputation, Now, the thing I would be worried about dealing with this is discipline, because I don't know what the hell an individual could do. It could be you opening up a can of worms, but it's almost getting like desperation maneuver out here. But actually, to tell you the truth, if I was involved in any kind of biker activity myself, like with a club, I know one thing, and this is just me, I would never wear colors anywhere, because my game is stealth and shrewdness is your number one weapon. It's like, you want to be invisible. You want to play, you can ride, I'd ride around in a freaking three-piece suit. You know what I mean? Play the game all the way. You don't want to attract attention for nothing. But you can still have the operation lean and mean and, right to the max. Where, if in other words you're playing a game, in other words you're like part of the established crowd all the way, but you're not, that would be the way to do it actually. But, the only organization I could think of in that area that is large enough, and I'm not saying to get into a fight with the feds or something like that, but I'm just saying a presence, a presence with cameras, a presence as observers. I'm not saying as militiamen. I'm just saying, hey, as observers. If I was Bundy, I'd be playing this angle. I know I don't understand. I don't know this guy. I don't know. He's probably a real conservative type guy, but that would be the angle I'd be playing. I'd be saying, you guys want to come in here as observers? I'll give you this land. We'll set it up. This land is joint ownership as a trust between me, the Bundy Ranch, and the Hells Angels. You can have a club there. I'll give you, some cattle, and you can, you got plenty of food, freezer storage. Set up a freaking few solar panels that run the freezers, and have a gas station out there for gassing up or some shit like that with a bike repair shop. I don't give a shit, anything like that. But when you got a bunch more people on there that are witnesses to anything, and you figure this. I'm not saying that Hell's, I'm not even, I can't speak for anybody, but that's how I'd be playing it with Bundy. But you got to figure this, if there's an independent observer group out there that isn't exactly friendly to the feds, that might be good. That might be good. That would be the angle I'd be playing. That would be the angle I'm playing. So, I don't know if, he's not going to do this, and he's not, I have a lot of angles I'd be playing that I don't want to be freaking announcing on here, because there's a lot of tricks I could be doing too. And, I think there's ways you could find out who's infiltrated you too. It's probably ways you can figure it out. There's probably ways. And, but the government's got all the time in the world. They got all the money in the world. That's why this situation is kind of screwed in a way for the Bundys. It is. It is. You can't be playing games where you're going to do direct frontal assault with the government. They're waiting for the whole situation to die down. They got their people infiltrating in it, and it's like they're screwing them up. And to tell you the truth, I think any biker club can relate to this kind of stuff, because they're always doing this to biker clubs. They're always doing that to biker clubs. This guy, he's this Bundy guy. All he's trying to do is have his cattle use the grazing lands. He isn't doing shit. You know what I mean? He ain't doing nothing. and they got some Chinese company in there trying to come in there and make it into a solar panel farm. So, Harry Reid's son can get wealthy, right? That's what's going on. So, I mean, there's a lot of different ways you could play this game. As a matter of fact, I don't want to put too much out here, but, if you can make one person pit against another person, too, that's even in the power struggle, that's another game. That's another game you could play that way, too. That's another way you could play that. But, I kept thinking about the bikers, and the only one that's really got the biggest international clout out there that has, as far as I know, has never really been infiltrated by anybody is the Hells Angels. And it's like it automatically brings up something in people's mind, it's good and bad, but it stands for freedom. But, if Bundy was to say, hey, take an acre out of my land, this is going to be your clubhouse area, it's going to be a joint trust venture that can't be touched by anybody, it's outside. There's ways you can legally set up things that are actually, it's not touchable by any party. It's just a trust itself, and you can't, a non-irrevocable trust, an irrevocable trust, and you set the land up owned in there. I mean, actually, legally, nobody can even come after it for anything, period, because it's part of the irrevocable trust. And, you could actually say the trust is registered in some other country that's, there's all kinds of shit you could do. All kinds of shit you can do. And then, say the deal is, well, if you guys are here as observers, you got, you come in here, you got your, you got a bike shop in here. If anybody needs help on the road, you got a great pit stop. Hey, all kinds of stuff, right? Anything that you want to do, it's your own private little freaking domain, just the fact that there's independent observers on that land that could see what's going on, that could make a difference, And I know Bundy could be opening up a can of other worms with this deal, but, that would be the way I'd be playing this shit. Because his back's to the wall. And I can see how the federal authorities are using this game. They infiltrate. The militia people are going to be... They don't have the resources or even the shrewdness and, the staying power to stay with it in great enough numbers. So you need somebody there that's independent. That's where you got to freaking play wheel and deal to the max. And there's a lot of other cool things you can do. I don't want to say what they are, but there's a lot of cool shit. I mean, I learned stuff from, what they used to do in the special ops in Vietnam that were like not bad really, but it would screw the enemy up and do different things. And you wouldn't necessarily hurt nobody, but it could screw it up. And there's a lot of crazy tricks you could pull out there. I don't want to say any of this shit because it's not cool to say it on here. But there's a lot of cool stuff out there. There's a lot of cool stuff out there you can do. Loads of it. And some of these things I was thinking of, the biker people would probably have access to, well, I don't want to say. I don't want to say. But anyway, it's another angle. Because, it would draw more national attention to the whole deal. And I don't know. I mean, I have nothing to do with the biker club or nothing. But it would just, you'd almost think about it. It would almost be like one of those things like, we stand for freedom, right? That's a good advertising point, right? I mean, not that you're trying to look for members or something, but it makes it look like it legitimizes, it does more than Toys for Tots, you know what I mean? It does more than like Toys for Tots or anything like that, or, bike runs for leukemia or something, or anything like that. Shows that, the club stands for freedom. It's nothing like Putin's Night Wolves. Vladimir Putin, he's got the Night Wolves. The Night Wolves is nothing but an extension of the government over there. Oh man, I hope biker clubs never come like that in the United States, ever. I mean, biker clubs are 100% pro-USA, but they're not pro-dictatorship and anti-individual rights. And what's going on here is we got some Chinese companies from a Chinese elitist dictatorship society coming over here trampling private property rights. Basically, I mean, the BLM's got no freaking right to be taking people's cattle, And actually, they really don't have if you look at the freaking land out west, I'm repeating myself, people don't see it on a map too much, but most of the land out west is under some kind of damn government control one way or the other. It's ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous. I mean, what the hell is this bullshit? Really, it's bullshit. I don't know. And, I'm just thinking about it, advertising, well, it's up to them. I mean, I'm not involved in this kind of crap at all. I mean, I'm not involved in any kind of negotiation here. I'm just throwing an idea out here that Bundy, if he was really shrewd, that's the card I'd be playing. I'd be calling up the angels not for protection, but as observers, and give them some land under a trust, and that's theirs forever. And wheel and deal a little bit. You never know, that might work. And there's a hell of a lot of other ideas I got out here, but I'm not going to freaking announce every damn thing because I ain't stupid. I'm just throwing something out here because I know nobody anywhere on YouTube or on the airwaves any place has put this out. And I could think of a gazillion things, but you don't show your cards. It's number one. You don't show your cards.